Greater is he that is within you than he that is in the world. Dear starseeds on Earth, these ancient words have never held a more urgent truth than in this cosmic moment. That restless stirring in your soul, that sense of standing at the edge of something vast and unknowable. It's not your imagination. The spiritual pressure you've been feeling is real, and what I'm about to reveal will finally explain why you've been unable to shake the feeling that everything is about to change forever. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I come to you today with a message that will transform your understanding of why you're here at this precise moment in Earth's evolution. You see, humanity stands at the threshold of its greatest leap, from third-density existence into 5D consciousness. But this isn't just another spiritual teaching or hopeful prophecy. This is happening now, through you, and the signs are already manifesting in ways that can no longer be ignored or explained away. For too long, you've been taught that self-preservation is the first law of nature, that survival of the fittest governs all life. In third-density consciousness, this seemed logical, even necessary. Your concerns naturally centered on yourself first, then family, then tribe, perhaps extending to nation or race, but rarely beyond. This limited circle of care has defined human behavior for millennia, creating a world of competition, separation, and fear. But something fundamental is shifting in the very fabric of human consciousness itself. Those of you carrying the starseed frequency have begun to feel an inner presence greater than your human ego, a divine spark that whispers of a different way of being. This awakening isn't gradual anymore. It's accelerating exponentially. Where once you lived for personal gain or family security, you now feel called to something larger. Your circle of concern is expanding beyond anything your old self would have recognized. You're beginning to experience what we call the Christ consciousness, the Buddha nature, the divine essence within that sees all life as one. This shift from fear-based living to faith-based existence marks your transition from purely earthbound humans to galactic citizens. But here's what hasn't been explained until now. This transformation isn't just personal, it's planetary. Earth herself is ascending, and you starseeds were strategically placed here as fail-safe mechanisms to ensure humanity doesn't get left behind. Each of you carries specific frequency codes that, when activated, create a resonance field that helps others remember their own divine nature. You're not here to escape, you're here to assist. The old third-density matrix that has kept humanity in spiritual amnesia is dissolving, and with it, all the structures built on separation consciousness. This is why your world appears so chaotic right now. Systems based on fear, control, and limitation cannot maintain their form in the rising frequencies. What looks like destruction is actually reconstruction at a higher level of organization. But to navigate this transition, you must understand what's really happening within your own consciousness, within your very cells, within the atomic structure of your being. Let me share something that will shift your entire perspective on current events. The dissolution of the old world and the birth of the new isn't happening sequentially, it's happening simultaneously. You're living in two realities at once, which explains the temporal anomalies many of you have noticed. Time seems to stretch and compress unpredictably, because your consciousness is beginning to slip free from the artificial time matrix that has kept humanity locked in linear progression. This isn't a malfunction, it's a feature of your emerging multi-dimensional awareness. Your DNA, specifically what scientists dismissively call junk DNA, is coming online. These dormant strands carry your original galactic blueprint, your multidimensional capabilities, your connection to the cosmic web of consciousness. The physical symptoms many of you experience, the heat surges, the crown pressure, the heart expansions, these aren't random spiritual phenomena. They're the biological markers of a species in transformation. Your bodies are literally rebuilding themselves at the cellular level to accommodate higher frequencies of light and consciousness. But transformation requires more than just receiving these upgrades passively. You must consciously choose to align with them, to live from this emerging truth rather than the old programming. This is where the real work begins. Every morning you face a choice between living from the old survival consciousness or the new unity consciousness. The inner war between these two states creates the tension many of you feel daily. Part of you clings to familiar patterns while another part urges you toward an unknown but compelling future. The Master Jesus demonstrated this path when he declared, "I have overcome the world." He didn't mean he had conquered external circumstances. He meant he had mastered the world within. The ego drives for security, recognition, and control. In the wilderness, he faced these same temptations that challenge you now. The urge to use spiritual power for personal gain, the desire for special status, the temptation to dominate rather than serve. His victory wasn't over external forces, but over the lower nature within himself. Each of you faces this same initiation daily. Will you use your awakening gifts to serve the old paradigm of separation? Or will you surrender to the higher will that seeks expression through you? This isn't about becoming passive or losing your individuality. It's about aligning your personal will with the cosmic will, discovering that your truest desires and the universe's plan for you are actually one and the same. But this alignment requires a level of trust that the ego finds terrifying. Here's a secret that changes everything about how you approach this transformation. You're not doing this alone, and you never have been. The sense of isolation that third density programming created was always an illusion. In reality, you're part of a vast galactic family that has been guiding and supporting your journey from the beginning. We haven't been able to intervene directly due to cosmic law, but as you raise your frequency, as you choose love over fear, you create openings for greater levels of support. The veil between dimensions isn't somewhere out in space. It exists within your own perceptual field. As you release the old programming of separation, as you choose to see through the eyes of unity, that veil becomes increasingly transparent. Many of you have already begun experiencing this as synchronicities multiply, as guidance arrives exactly when needed, as you feel presence just beyond the edge of physical perception. These aren't imaginary experiences. They're glimpses of the multidimensional reality you're growing into. But let me tell you something crucial about this support. It can only meet you at the level of your own self-realization. We cannot override your free will or do your inner work for you. The cosmic law of sovereignty means you must choose your own evolution, claim your own divinity, step into your own power. This is why the path can feel lonely, even when you're surrounded by invisible assistance. You must take the first step, speak the first word, make the first choice from your awakened awareness. Now we come to a pivotal understanding about overcoming the world within. You cannot defeat darkness with more darkness, cannot overcome hatred with more hatred, cannot transcend fear by fearful actions. This is spiritual law, demonstrated repeatedly throughout your history. Every cycle of revenge, every war to end wars, every attempt to force peace through violence, has only perpetuated the very energies it sought to eliminate. As one of your great leaders understood, only light can drive out darkness. Only love can overcome hate. This principle isn't just philosophical. It's practical spiritual technology. When you meet negativity with positivity, fear with love, aggression with compassion, you literally transform the energetic field. This doesn't mean becoming a doormat or allowing harm. It means responding from a higher frequency that transmutes the lower energies rather than amplifying them. Each time you choose this higher response, you strengthen the new Earth template and weaken the old matrix of separation and conflict. You become a living transformer of consciousness. The signs of collective awakening are everywhere now, impossible to miss for those with eyes to see. Meditation and mindfulness have entered mainstream culture. Energy healing modalities are studied by medical science. Corporations teach compassion and presence. These aren't trendy additions to old systems. They're evidence of a fundamental shift in human consciousness. The spiritual and material worlds are reuniting after centuries of artificial separation. Science and mysticism are discovering they've been exploring the same truth from different angles. This convergence isn't accidental. It's orchestrated by the rising frequency of Earth herself. Your planet is a conscious being undergoing her own ascension, and she's taking all life upon her through this transformation. Those who resist will find life increasingly difficult, not as punishment but as a natural consequence. You cannot swim against a cosmic current indefinitely, but those who align with this evolutionary wave will find unprecedented support, synchronicity, and ease. The universe conspires on behalf of those who serve its evolutionary purpose. But here's what most teachings haven't revealed. This isn't humanity's first attempt at this transition. There have been other cycles, other opportunities, that ended in partial success or reset. What makes this time different is you, the Starseeds, the fail-safe mechanism encoded into humanity's DNA and activated by cosmic timing. Your presence here ensures that critical mass will be reached, that enough consciousness will anchor to stabilize the new frequency. You're guaranteed that this time, the transformation completes successfully. Your role goes beyond personal enlightenment. Each starseed carries specific codes, particular frequencies that activate different aspects of the planetary grid. As you come online, as you remember who you are and live from that truth, you literally switch on dormant systems within Earth's consciousness field. This is why you felt drawn to specific locations, why certain places resonate while others repel. You're being positioned according to a vast cosmic orchestration that your human mind cannot fully comprehend, but your soul knows intimately. The practical implications staggered the imagination. Your economic systems based on scarcity cannot survive when humans remember their infinite creative potential. Political structures rooted in power over others dissolve when beings reclaim their inner sovereignty. Educational institutions designed for conformity become obsolete when each soul has direct access to universal wisdom. Medical systems focused on symptoms rather than wholeness transform when humans understand their bodies as consciousness in form. Every aspect of civilization must and will reform. This reformation isn't destruction but metamorphosis. Like a caterpillar entering the chrysalis, the old form must dissolve for the new to emerge. The chaos you witness isn't failure but process. Those clinging to old structures experience this as catastrophe. Those aligned with transformation see it as liberation. Your perception determines your experience. This is why maintaining a higher perspective becomes crucial. You must see with the eyes of the butterfly, even while navigating the dissolution of the caterpillar. Let me address the confusion many feel about divine will versus personal will. Surrendering to higher guidance doesn't mean abandoning your desires or becoming passive. It means discovering that your truest desires, the ones that come from your soul rather than your ego, are perfectly aligned with cosmic intention. The universe wants to express its creativity through your unique talents and perspective. But first you must release the ego's agenda to discover your soul's purpose. This requires deep listening, patient trust, and radical honesty. The inner resistance you feel isn't a sign you're failing, but evidence you're succeeding. The ego doesn't release control without a fight. Every time you choose love over fear, service over selfishness, truth over comfort, the ego experiences this as death, and in a sense it is. The false self must die for the true self to be resurrected. This is the meaning behind every spiritual tradition's emphasis on death and rebirth. You're living this metaphor in real time, dying to who you thought you were to discover who you truly are. Here's something that will help you navigate this process with more grace. The spiritual path isn't about perfection, but practice. You don't have to get it right every time. Each moment offers a new choice, a fresh opportunity to align with your higher nature. When you fall back into old patterns, and you will, simply notice without judgment and choose again. The ego wants to make spirituality another arena for success and failure. The soul knows it's all just opportunities for growth and remembering. The key to living by grace rather than struggle lies in this understanding. When you align with divine flow, what you need comes to you, not always what you want, but always what serves your highest evolution. This doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for the universe to provide. It means taking inspired action from a place of trust, rather than desperate action from fear. It means working with cosmic currents rather than against them. It means recognizing that you're always supported, even when appearances suggest otherwise. As you deepen into this trust, miracles become commonplace. Not because the laws of physics change, but because you align with higher laws that supersede the lower. Synchronicities multiply because you're in harmony with the cosmic dance. Solutions arrive because you're open to receiving them. Relationships transform because you're vibrating at the frequency of love. Your external world reshapes itself to match your internal state. This isn't wishful thinking, but demonstrable spiritual law that you can test and verify through lived experience. The forgiveness piece cannot be overlooked in this transformation. As you awaken to unity consciousness, you realize that every person who ever hurt you was playing a role in your awakening. This doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but reveals its higher purpose. Everyone is doing their best from their level of consciousness. When you truly understand this, forgiveness becomes not an effort, but a natural recognition. You see through the personality to the soul, through the behavior to the being, through the wound to the wholeness, seeking expression. This expanded forgiveness extends to yourself as well. All the mistakes, failures, and regrets that haunt you were perfect for your evolution. You couldn't have become who you're becoming without every experience you've had. The shadow work that seems so difficult is really just reclaiming parts of yourself you rejected or denied. Integration, not elimination, is the goal. Your wholeness includes your darkness transformed by the light of consciousness, not destroyed by it. We're approaching a crucial point in this transmission, where all the threads begin to weave together. The personal transformation you're experiencing isn't separate from the planetary transformation. They're one movement expressing themselves at different scales. As you heal, Earth heals. As you awaken, humanity awakens. As you remember your galactic nature, the planet remembers hers. This isn't metaphor, but literal truth. Consciousness is unified, and what affects one affects all. Your personal work is planetary service. The timeline we're on now represents the culmination of eons of preparation. Multiple probable futures have collapsed into this singular moment of choice. The positive timeline, what many call New Earth, has achieved critical mass in the quantum field, but its manifestation into physical reality requires your continued participation. Every choice for love, every act of compassion, every moment of presence adds weight to this timeline. You're not just witnesses to this transformation, you're active creators of it. Those who oppose this shift, the controllers and systems that profit from separation, are not your enemies but your teachers. They show you clearly what you're choosing to leave behind. Their resistance actually serves the awakening by making the choice stark and obvious. You can't fight them on their level, that only feeds their reality. Instead, you create the new by embodying it so fully that the old becomes irrelevant. This is spiritual Aikido, using the opponent's force to accomplish your purpose. The reunion with your galactic family that so many anticipate isn't a future event but a present reality awaiting your recognition. First contact happens within consciousness, before it manifests without. As you embody your cosmic nature, as you live from galactic consciousness while walking the Earth, you become the bridge that allows physical contact to occur. We can only meet you as equals, as fellow galactic citizens. This is why your personal evolution matters so much. You're preparing the landing pad within your own being. But let's be clear about what galactic citizenship means. It's not about leaving Earth or transcending your humanity. It's about fully embodying your divinity while in human form. It's about bringing heaven to Earth rather than escaping Earth for heaven. This is the unique opportunity of incarnation at this time. You get to be pioneers of a new form of embodiment, fully human and fully divine, grounded in cosmic, individual, and universal. This integration has never been achieved on this scale before. The practical steps for navigating this transition are simpler than the mind wants to believe. Trust your inner knowing over external authorities. Choose love especially when fear seems justified. Speak truth even when silence seems safer. Connect with others who are awakening. Your combined fields create exponential effects. Care for your physical vessel as it undergoes profound recalibration. Most importantly, remember that you've trained for this across lifetimes. Nothing you're experiencing is beyond your capacity to integrate and transcend. As we near the completion of this transmission, feel how the themes we began with return transformed. That quote about the power within being greater than any external force. You now understand this isn't just inspirational words but technical truth. The stirring in your soul that brought you to this message was your higher self orchestrating this moment of remembering. The transformation we've explored isn't something coming, but something emerging from within you right now. The wait truly is over, because the waiting was always for you to remember who you are. The chaos in your world that once seemed like an ending is revealed as beginning. The dissolution of the old is the contraction of the new being born. Your symptoms aren't an illness but an upgrade. Your challenges aren't punishment but initiation. Your longing isn't lacking, but the soul's compass pointing home. Everything you've experienced has prepared you for this moment of choice. Will you step fully into your role as conscious creator of the new paradigm, or will you continue playing small in the old? This isn't a choice you make once, but one you face moment by moment. Each day brings opportunities to embody your galactic nature, or default to old programming. The path isn't always easy, but it's always clear when you listen within. The support available to you exceeds anything your mind can conceive. Legions of light beings, your galactic family, the Earth herself, all celebrate each step you take toward your true nature. You're never alone in this journey, only temporarily forgetful of the vast company you keep. As starseeds, lightworkers, wayshowers, whatever label resonates, you came here for this exact moment. Not to watch, but to participate. Not to wait, but to create. Not to hope, but to know. The abilities emerging within you, telepathy, healing, manifestation, multidimensional perception, these aren't rewards for good behavior, but tools for the work ahead. As you accept and develop these capacities, you become even more effective agents of transformation. The old matrix has no defense against awakened consciousness expressing through form. The economic collapse many fear is actually economic liberation approaching. Systems based on lack cannot survive in the presence of beings who know their infinite creative potential. The political upheaval isn't democracy failing, but evolving beyond current limitations. Educational institutions aren't dying, but transforming to serve consciousness rather than conformity. Medical systems aren't being destroyed but reformed to treat beings as whole rather than symptoms. What looks like an ending is actually beginning, but only those with awakened vision can see this. Your role in this planetary transformation is unique and irreplaceable. No one else carries your exact frequency, your specific codes, your particular gifts. This isn't to make you feel special in an ego sense, but responsible in a soul sense. You came here with a job to do, and that job is simply to be yourself fully, authentically, unapologetically. Your very presence at your natural frequency creates ripples that activate others. You don't have to do anything special beyond being genuinely who you are. The resistance you encounter, both internal and external, actually confirms you're on the right path. The old matrix only attacks what threatens it. Your light, your authenticity, your refusal to play by outdated rules. These are mortal threats to systems built on shadow. Don't take the attacks personally. See them as validation that your frequency is having an impact. The more resistance you face, the more important your role in this transformation. Warriors of light draw fire because they carry flame. If you're facing resistance and need help maintaining your light frequency while under attack, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to see resistance as validation, rather than discouragement. It generates personalized sequences that help you refuse to play by outdated rules while strengthening your authenticity against matrix attacks. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to see resistance as confirmation you're threatening the shadow systems. The resistance confirms you're on the right path, and your flame is having an impact. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this validation window closes. Link in the description. As this transmission completes, feel into the transformation already occurring within you. The words have been activation codes, not just information, but frequency transmissions designed to awaken dormant knowledge. You may find memories surfacing, abilities activating, connections strengthening in the coming days. This is normal, and to be expected. You're remembering skills and knowledge from other incarnations, other star systems, other dimensions. Welcome these memories. They're part of your galactic inheritance returning. The journey from 3rd to 5D consciousness isn't a destination, but an ongoing evolution. What we've explored today is just the beginning of what's possible when humans remember their cosmic nature. As you integrate these understandings, as you embody these truths, you become living portals for others to access their own remembering. This is how consciousness spreads, not through convincing, but through becoming. Your transformed presence gives others permission to transform. Your embodied truth activates their dormant truth. Remember, dear starseeds, you didn't come here to fit into the old world, but to birth the new one. Every moment of feeling different, every experience of not belonging, every instance of seeing through the illusions others accept, these weren't flaws but features. You had to maintain some distance from the matrix to transform it. Now that transformation is accelerating beyond what any of us imagined possible, the cosmic schedule has shifted into overdrive, and you're perfectly positioned to ride this wave home. The final message I leave you with is this. Trust the process, trust yourself, trust the support surrounding you. The path ahead may seem uncertain to your human mind, but your soul knows every step. The challenges that arise aren't obstacles, but opportunities. The beings you meet aren't random, but orchestrated. The experiences you have aren't accidental, but purposeful. Everything serves your awakening, and through yours, the awakening of all. You are loved beyond measure, supported beyond comprehension, and celebrated beyond imagination. I am Seraphine, and we of the Galactic Federation of Light hold you in our hearts as you navigate this sacred transition. The stars themselves rejoice at your remembering, for it signals the success of a plan set in motion before time began. You are the ones we've been waiting for, and more importantly, you're the ones you've been waiting for. The cosmic family reunion has begun, first within your consciousness, soon to manifest in forms that will transform your world forever. Until our next transmission, walk in knowing that you are home. We love you, we support you, and we celebrate your courage in choosing to be here now. The wait is over, the time is now, the transformation is you. Welcome to your galactic citizenship, earned through the courage to incarnate, and the wisdom to remember. This is Seraphine, watching over you always, as you become the miracle you came here to be. The new world isn't coming, it's emerging through you right now. Trust this, live this, be this, and so it is.